Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very pleasure have this chance to present our works. The title of our work is "No Longer Sleeping with a Bomb: A Duty System for Protecting Urban Safety from Dangerous Goods." Before our presentation, we'll watch a video first.
No, baby! No!
Are we dangerous here?
Yeah, we're dangerous. Oh my God!
Oh dear! Are you filming?
Yes, I'm filming.
Wow! Wow! I think we are dangerous.
This video is not shot at a battlefield. It's shot in the downtown of China City. The city name is Tianjin. The port in the north, the biggest port in the north of Beijing, very like the Harry Fox. This 2 years ago, a very terrible explosion happened in the Tianjin. In this explosion, about more than 16 people was killed in the accident, and more than 300 buildings and 20,000 cars were completely destroyed. After this terrible event, we have two questions must be answered: what caused the Tianjin explosion, and why this explosion killed so many people? As reported by the government media, the CCTV, the explosives was 14 cans of hazardous chemicals. That's what we call these things as dangerous goods. We see this map. In this explosion site, more than 3,000 tons chemicals were stored in this area. Besides this area, the area circled by the yellow line is downtown of Tianjin Port. Many people lived in these areas. The explosion happened in the evening. Many people was killed when they are sleeping. Obviously, the danger goods storage was built too close to the residential areas. But before the explosion, even government don't know what this hidden dangers. In other words, people lived in Tianjin Port were sleeping with bombs beside their beds, but they didn't even know. Similar things do not just exist in Tianjin. Many cities have similar conditions. In every day, many dangerous goods such as gas, chemicals was stored or transported in our cities. In fact, we need these chemicals, we need this gas, but we must have some way to protect our life from the risk caused by these dangerous goods. Motivated by these conditions, we proposed a system named City Eyes on Dangerous Goods to protect our cities from the dangerous goods. In our cities, we process multi-source data from using four types. The first type is multi-source data fusion. We call our system as Duet system. That means we use two types of data. Two types of data in our system. The first type of data is dangerous goods transporter trajectory data. In China, every vehicle carried the dangerous goods must equipped with GPS terminals, and these transporters must report real-time locations. Real-time locations to local governments. We collect these data to indicate where are the dangerous goods. In the same time, we build a cooperation with mobile operators. They give us some data about about the mobile phone locations. We use mobile phone user numbers to estimate the populations in different city zones. In our system, we divided the map of the city as several grids, and divided the time of one day as many time slices. In this way, for one day of a city, we have a group of metrics like this. In the metric, each cell of the matrix, we calculate two weights. One weight is DGT weights, which is calculated from the DGT trajectory data. The other is cloud weight, which calculated from using the mobile phone data. This people's distribution in Tianjin. This dangerous goods distribution in Tianjin. In order to merge the two types of data in the same framework, we calculate the product of two weights in the Mahalanobis distance space. We use the projector. We call the projector as the risk score. For each cell in the matrix, we have a risk score. If the risk score is higher than the threshold, we call this zone is in the risky state. We call this zone as a risky zone. In the next step, we use a frequently pattern mining algorithm to mine the risk patterns. We define a risky pattern as a set of adjacent urban zones that are at the risky state together frequently. We adopt three association rulers. The first is risky zones in the same pattern should be spatially adjacent. The second is daily support of a pattern should be larger than the given threshold. The daily support means support of a pattern in the same time size of different days. In this, the third ruler is pattern should not be a subset of the other risk patterns. In this way, one matrix in a day, the matrix for a special time size of a day could be considered as a transaction. We use priority-like algorithm to mining the frequent patterns from the matrices like this. This is the risk pattern we mined from the Tianjin. In the third step, we analyze the causality relations among these patterns. We do this work based on spatial insights. We consider the reason of a risk pattern as as a dangerous goods requirements of the distance of the transporters that went through the pattern. Using this case as an example, there is a trunk with carried gas tank from gas storage to the gas station. The trunk went through a residential area. Why this area have some dangerous goods? That is caused by the gas station have the requirement of the gas. Based on this, follow this logic, we build a causal network to model the relations among the risk patterns. We build causal networks. In the networks, we consider every risk patterns as nodes of the networks. If there exists DGT traffic from pattern A to pattern B, we build an edge from the pattern A to from node A to node B. The weight of the edge is traffic volume between the two patterns. Finally, we develop two applications based on the causal networks. The first application is ranking importance of risk patterns. Because we have causal networks, we could adopt a PageRank algorithm on the network to ranking the nodes of the network. We propose the random walk with the restart algorithm on the causal networks on the causal network, and for each using the algorithm, we get for each pattern we get a ranking score. A pattern with a greater score is more important. The second application is pattern state prediction. In this application, we predict whether a pattern will be in the risk state in the next time slice. Because we already have a causal network, we directly use the causal network as a Bayesian network and use the Bayesian inference on the network to predict the state of pattern in the future time size. Because some pattern, as shown in these figures, this pattern to be predicted, some reason patterns in the network is unobservable. In order to overcome this issue, we propose EM algorithm to infer the state of observable patterns. Based on this algorithm, we could inference unobserved patterns and the pattern in the futures, pattern of the state of pattern in the futures. In the experiments, we test the algorithms of a DGeye system using the data of two big cities in China, Beijing, the capital of China, and Tianjin. Because we want to test whether the system could help us to prevent the Tianjin exploration. So we select the data from the we select the data set before the exploration in our experiments. We first see these four maps. The maps in the left column are the distribution of dangerous goods in Beijing and Tianjin. The right column is distribution of risk scores in Beijing and Tianjin. As shown in these maps, if we only see the dangerous goods, maybe we will think the most risks are distributed out of the cities. But if we merge the two people and risk together, we can detect many risks in the center of the city. There are the special distributions of risk patterns in Beijing and Tianjin. We can see in the Beijing there are many very big size patterns in the downtown, and in the Tianjin downtown there are the pattern size are very small. The big size pattern in Tianjin are located in the Tianjin port. In Beijing, the customer of dangerous goods are gas stations, restaurants, and other places that for people's daily life. The gas stations and restaurants located in the downtown, so the big size risk patterns are located in downtown. In Tianjin, the dangerous goods are for import and export, so the big size patterns are located in the port area. In that step, we use a showcase to demo the experimental result of the pattern ranking method. The right pattern is the first important ranking pattern in Tianjin port. We can see this pattern covered a street along the port. The green and blue patterns. The green and blue patterns are first and second caused pattern by the red patterns. Which covered this street. The explosion site just located in the intersection of the two streets. In Beijing, the most important located in the food street named Guijie Street. The most popular food in Guijie is hot pot. We know the hot pot need a gas tank to cook food on the table, which costs every day many trucks transport gas tank to the Guijie. We report our discoveries to the Beijing government. Driven by our work, the Beijing government started a pipeline laying project in Guijie Food Street. This is a successful application of our system. Finally, we test the performance of past risk state prediction of our system. The experimental results show that our model have the best performance than the other baseline algorithms. This conclusion of our works. I think this the first work that consider the dangerous goods and peoples together. So we call our system as a duty system. Thank you, everyone.